Hello to all of you. Even though there are millions of events that occur every day, very few of them are important enough for us to pay attention to. We're going to look at some things today that you simply must see to believe. Let's get started. Low-flying plane. In January 2019, people in Nashville, Tennessee were shocked to see a military plane flying so close to the ground that it looked like it was flying over the roofs of buildings and past office windows.
Oh my gosh. He's not above it, Toby.
It continued to circle for about 30 minutes, and during that time, terrified witnesses who saw the horrifying events called the local police to report what was happening. At the end of the day, it turned out that the plane was just practicing for a flyover to celebrate the new governor's appointment. But because the public didn't know this, they didn't like how close the plane was flying. The actual commemoration of the anniversary, however, was postponed due to bad weather. Sinkhole opening in a road. Although the ground's surface may appear secure from above, what lies beneath can be very different. In some areas, water is slowly removing underlying rock layers, and when enough is gone, the ground will be unable to support what is above it, causing a sinkhole to emerge. Fortunately, these kinds of accidents tend to occur in rural settings, although they can occasionally occur in cities as well. These activities may be quite risky. A small sinkhole doesn't cause much damage, but the consequences may be harsher if the sinkhole is larger. Oklahoma tornado. A catastrophic tornado struck Moore, Oklahoma on May 20th, 2013. Barbara Garcia, an elderly woman, was hiding in her bathroom while holding her small puppy. Her home was leveled by a terrifying tornado that tore through it. Barbara was relieved that she had escaped the storm without suffering any serious injuries, but she was sad to discover that her dog had become lost and was probably dead, and had been buried beneath the rill.
Oh, Cassie.
Surprisingly, the dog survived with only minor injuries. A crane arm dismantles the smokestack of an old temple. The city of Nakhon Si Thammarat is located on the Malay Peninsula, about an hour's flight south of Bangkok. It is one of Thailand's oldest cities and famous for its magnificent Buddhist temples. However, even these revered buildings require improvements. Officials of an outdated temple hired a contractor to disassemble the building in August 2020. They had already paid almost $8,000 for a nearby temple, according to the Bangkok Herald. But removing the 50-foot chimney was the only practical way to demolish the shrine. Unexpectedly, things didn't go according to expectations. The crane operator completely misjudges the location of the crane arm and runs into a chimney. This force was sufficient to break several bricks, and a few seconds later, the bottom portion fell apart and the smokestack tumbled to the ground like a dead tree. The monks were disappointed with the crane driver, but thankfully nobody got hurt during the accident. A tree falls on a house. About 20 minutes west of Boston is the suburb of Brighton, Massachusetts. After a storm in December that moved through New England just before Christmas, the region received 11 inches of snow, making 2009 a particularly harsh winter. A family living on a lake decided now was a good time to cut down the nearly 70-foot elm that had been blocking their view of the lake for years. Considering how close the tree is to the house, I'm surprised he didn't just hire professional tree cutters instead of letting it fall into the frozen lake hidden beneath the snow. As a result of his own incompetence, our DIY dad makes a few more cuts, and then disaster ensues. When the tree falls in the wrong direction, it smashes their porch. I'm sure he'll have to pay twice as much to replace his roof now that he's too smart to save money by cutting it down himself. How much would it be to have a tree cut down in Boston? Well, that depends on the kind of tree you're removing and how tough the task is. On the low end, it'll cost around $300, and on the high end, it'll cost over $1,000. If the tree is close to electrical lines, the cost increases even further. In light of his home's location, it wouldn't have been expensive. The story's lesson is to refrain from trying to be too smart. Kingfisher freed by a man. Watch how this gentleman frees a kingfisher whose legs were stuck to a metal railing due to ice, a serious problem for birds during the winter. With that, we conclude our video today. Let us know what you think about these unbelievable moments in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, please press the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do so to watch more fascinating videos like this in the future. Goodbye.